This is my KORG C15 digital piano from 1992 that I have fully restored, and it required a lot of work to get it working again. So this video will kind of walk through some of the process. There were three main problems with the KORG that I had to do. The first was that it did not have any sound when you press the keys, and the reason for that, the electrolytic capacitors on the motherboard all had shorted out or opened up and were leaking electrolytic fluid. That's what the old original caps look like. See if I can flip one around. Like that. See if I can focus that. So I ended up replacing every single electrolytic on the motherboard with standard through-hole capacitors. So once I did that, the piano would work. I would get sound. The other problem, many of the keys were kind of sunken down like this, and that problem turned out to be the spring mechanism that's underneath the key. I will show that later. That was chewing into the plastic in the back, cutting a groove into the plastic key, and that would make the spring less springy and like less tension, and it would cause the key to be sunken down. And the third problem was the lubrication from 1992 had all but disappeared. So I added lubricant to all of the keys to make them work real nice and smooth. Before, if you would press like sideways on a key, it wouldn't come back right away, or it was very hard to push. You could feel it being gummy. But anyway, stay tuned, and hopefully I will be able to go through these different steps. I won't show you repairing the circuit board. That's already done, and that's a major project. But I will go through the lubrication at least, and kind of show you what the spring mechanism looks like and how I modified it. Let me see if I can demonstrate this. Some of the keys, most of the keys, the lubrication is pretty bad. So if you press like a black key sideways, there's a lot of resistance, and it takes a while for it to bounce back. You can hear it. It's fine if you go up and down, but if you do any kind of sideways, it's messed up. With all of the keys stripped off, I want to go in and vacuum the keyboard bed. It's just really really grungy, so it will just want to kind of show you just how bad it could be. But you get the idea. Okay. I had already cleaned a little bit in this area, which will be good enough. You don't want anything to go down into this area. This is the this is where the switches are. When you press a key down, it makes contact. Okay. This is what the mechanism looks like when assembled. The plastic keycap, you have the hammer assembly and the spring, and this is how the spring gets attached. If I can zoom in, it's hard to show when it's actually being assembled. See if I can rock this down. So it's kind of like that. When you're putting the spring mechanism back, when you're reassembling the keyboard. Also, one other thing, before you even start this project, what you want to do is remove this metal bar. Remove that metal bar that is in front of your all of your keys. It's only 8 screws, and remove the bar, and it gives you easy access to all the springs and hammer assembly. This is the lubricant I'm using. It's a Moly Coat 44 medium. I want to show you where I'm adding the Moly Coat lubricant. So I'm going to assemble a black key and a white key. The first thing you want to do is you want to lubricate the posts. These are very critical to lubricate. The black key would go in, kind of do it like this. The black key fits over the post, and if it's not lubricated, it hangs up, it gets real sticky. So let me just get that out. I already went through and cleaned up the old lubricant, but let's get started. Just take a paintbrush, and we're going to just get a nice amount of lube grease on each side of this post. Be kind of generous with it. And you don't really need it on the front and back, but just put a little dab there. You also want to put some lube on these rockers, or on these plastic pieces. And you're also going to put some lube up here in this area. It will make sense when you see the plastic keycap go on. Okay, and I also want to lube where the white key will go, which is over here. Now, if you bring the camera on this side, you'll see the importance of having lube. These little arms on the side of the key ride up and down on this nylon post. So you're going to want lube on each side, and you're also going to want lube in the arms and inside of the white keycap. So let's do that. I will put some lube on each side, a generous amount. And you're going to want to lube down below also. And okay, now for the hammer, this is where you're going to put lube. You will put lube on the inside nook, right inside of there. And you're going to be putting lube on the top. There's like what looks like two little magnets or something, but they're just a different type of nylon. You're going to lube there. Hopefully you can see it. Nice amount. And I'll just put that down temporarily, and I'll pick up the black key and I'm going to lubricate this. You want lube inside of this little semicircle. That part will be riding up and down in the back like a pivot point. You're going to put some lube right in here. It's a very time-consuming, tedious job. So when a tech shop, a keyboard repair shop quotes you a fortune to do this, you know why. Now I want to get lube inside of these little feet and inside of here, which is the part that rides up and down on that shaft. You want a nice amount of lube in there. May not be able to see it, but you know where it's going. Get it in there. And you want it inside. So we already lubricated the shaft, but we're getting double lube on the inside of the plastic housing. Okay. So let's put this key in. Okay. So the weight will go in kind of like goes in that hole like that, kind of hooks in like that. So that's good. And then the keycap will go on top. Or actually it goes underneath first. Let me get this right. Little tricky. And you'll just put a little pressure down here to kind of snap it in like that. Now what you want to do is, this is going to be a little tricky, but now the spring will go in. This is the spring. And the spring will kind of lock the two things together. I'll have to show you in a different video, but and you won't be able to see this. But that's going in. The camera ran out of memory during that last video, so I put the key in and it's working. So I'm going to show you how to remove the key, and which involves removing the spring. If you look over here, you can see that I have a white key, a black key, and a white key already assembled. The white key springs are closer to the metal frame. Black keys are protruding out a little bit. So I'm going to remove this black key. The way I do it, I use a pair of needle nose pliers, just to kind of grip the spring a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang on to it and bring it forward. I'm not ripping it apart, I'm just carefully sliding it off the plastic like that. Remove the spring. Now I can lay the keyboard down. And then in order to take the plastic off, you can either just wiggle it, or I stick my finger underneath to push on it a little bit like that, and then kind of rock it off. And then to remove the weight, you just kind of go underneath like that, and the weight comes off. So I'll put it back on like so. We're going to put the key back on, kind of go underneath it first, the front of the key first. Like that, simple enough. And then I'm going to put the spring back on. So you can see there's like a tab, a tang, whatever, and then a little fork at the bottom. And you won't be able to see this, but I already made a video that will show it. So I'm sticking it right in there. And just kind of push it in there, and I think we're in. Key's working fine. Yeah, that's in nice. Okay. And just put this back down. And the key is working correctly. So the black keys and the white keys, they work exactly the same. If you look down here again, I have that metal spring. It's going to go into this little groove in the hammer mechanism, and then it kind of lays inside of the end of the key. There's like a little notch down there, and that's it, like that. Okay. If you have a key that is partially pushed down, something like this, on your keyboard, the problem more than likely is the spring. The spring, this is a key that's upside down. This is kind of like how the mechanism works. And the spring will cut into the plastic. See if I can make that animation. When you're playing the keyboard, the spring rocks up and down like that. And over time, over the years, that the spring will chew into the plastic. And I will show you what that looks like under a microscope, and what I did to fix it. Basically, I'm taping a small piece of plastic onto the spring itself. For the plastic spacer that I'm using underneath the spring, I just cut up a like one of these clamshell packaging items, and that worked out pretty well. It looks like I'm going to be doing quite a few of the keys, adding the little plastic spacer on the back of the spring. The bottom 10 keys were fine. They didn't have any notches worn into them. However, most of the center keys do have notches. The upper 15 keys were fine. You can see them here. The upper section, they don't have any notches at all, but quite a few of the center do have notches. So I ended up making the little adapter, the little plastic spacer on there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm having trouble with this camera. That's a shame. But I can't focus, so it's a total waste of a camera. Anyway, fuck it. I'm getting ready to put the keyboard all back together. You can see that they are all sitting nice and level. Like that. These were the two keys that were sitting low, like this, because of the spring digging into the plastic and wearing a groove that we talked about earlier. But key action is real nice right now, and I think it's going to work out. The lubricant really did a great job, so you can easily glide your hand across the keys, and there's no squeaks, there's no gummy hanging up feeling. It works just like it was brand new from the factory from 1992. Okay.